it is what it is. So you know, you get used to what's going on. Take a week or two. And nighttime here, I don't mind how nice and cool it gets, but it's just so quiet, and people probably sleeping. And so try to, I don't, I can't really do videos here at night unless I'm just taping. I don't know. Keep it quiet. Not gonna do lives. Nobody cares. This is the Punch Champion size. The cigar is the rare Corojo. The Champion size is unique. In some ways, you could look at it similar to like the Hemingway, as far as that kind of weird shit. Changes of sizes and diameter. However, unlike all the Hemingways and the rare pinks, it has a classic foot. So, but it's unique. Still, I mean, you don't see too many bowling ball pins like that. This size is not unique to the rare Corojo, though. I mean, you can get, I think, a lot of different of their blends in this size, but it's unique. It's listed as a 4.5 by 60, but obviously it's not. I mean, it is. Like here's 60, but here's like, that's about a 52. And then it stays the same, and then it goes up to 60 here. So here you're gonna be like a 56 and 58. And then once you experience the 60, no diddy, it's gonna start going down. So it gives you the whole getting bigger and getting smaller. Sounds like your mother's bedroom. Is it in? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Yes, I'm human and I make jokes. But that was out of line. I apologize. Now, this in Pennsylvania pricing, MSRP is really good. Talking about 7.25. Now, if you're in your state, like New York, it cost you $15 because New York is a criminal syndicate. Maybe even more. Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Pennsylvania binder, no, Connecticut binder, and then the big three: Honduran, Nicaraguan, Dominican on the fillers. So quite an elaborate blend, a lot going on. And the thing is, the Punch Rare Corojo has been around long enough that it is a world standard cigar, and it's definitely Punch's most, I think, well-known and premium blend. Of course, like the Golden Era, I think, took it to the next level, being a next level cigar as far as luxury within the Punch line. But that's not as well known, and it's been not as out as long. It's been out about 2 years. And the Rare Corojo, and the Golden Era is fantastic. But that's like a next, and that took it to the next level in price. But I feel Punch, all the general stuff for the most part is very well priced, except for Cohiba, which you got to go on the internet to get better pricing. But the Punch, Macanudos, you get some great stuff if you get an MSRP or on the internet. And you're gonna have a good time. Yeah, it's not gonna be some sexy brand where people are like, oh yeah. But at the end of the day, bro, like maybe it's a good litmus test. At the end of the day, this tobacco, just like other brands, well made, well construction. It's just at a better price. And it's like, oh, does that make it worse? No. General's so big that they can produce stuff because they can buy stuff in such massive quantities, and they could offer a lower price point and make more money by volume, and it moves. It's not like all General cigars are just good for the money, but amongst, let's say, this is 7.25, which is really cheap this day and age at the store. But against other cigars, theirs are better. This is just mass-produced bullshit. No, it's not. Like, I can tell you in good faith that like a lot of General stuff that is mid-tier, that might be between, let's say, $6 to $10 at MSRP. Other brands would charge way more because they're boutique. Yeah. Why? Because they didn't grow their own tobacco? They don't own their own fields? And I'm not saying, listen, smoke everything, smoke whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the Rare Corojo has been a long time. I'm gonna have to rock the wind. Very good, Joe. I might need another match. I don't know. It's hard to see in the sunlight. Okay. Quite nice off the bat. You know, the rare Corojo is something that the blend itself, I think, is very unique. It's not as easy to love as like there are other blends, other stuff with the Punch Classics, Punch Classical, easy to love. Their Punch Broadleafs, very affordable broadleaf Maduro, slightly dirty but really enjoyable. And I think they age pretty well. All their fun stuff like the Dad Bod or the VHS, whatever, or the limited stuff they do like that, those are really good for a good price. Or the Chinese stuff they release for like $6. Those are solid cigars and they're unique, but they're fun, you know. The Rare Corojo is really, in some ways, I think maybe sophisticated. That every time you have it, you come back to, you're like, is it a little different this year, or is it me? I don't know. And I've had Rare Corojos in special sizes. Was it called the Rare Lapis or something like that? Years ago, and that had time on it, like a lot of time, and they were phenomenal. So I can't say this, that I'm not sure if it's due to the complexity of the blend, meaning that it has Honduran, Nicaraguan, Dominican fillers, and that strong Connecticut broadleaf binder, and a very nice Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. I guess you could probably list this more like a sun-grown type of look. These things age well, and some guys actually I talked to prefer these with a year or two time on them. They buy a box and let it sit. You know, they like them better. There are guys. I'm not saying it doesn't have an Elvis following at all, but it's not that kind of brand or blend. But the Rare Corojo has a decent enough following. Regular guys, they enjoy it. Maybe it was more popular, 10 years ago when I was really getting into cigars. Because guys would, 10 years ago when I was hanging out in lounges in Long Island, mid-tier stuff was seen more as like a luxury, like wow. And like luxury stuff was like a birthday. Or like, oh man, you hit a big lotto ticket, or like celebrating, or someone died, or someone's getting married, you're gonna splurge on a Padron. God forbid a Davidoff, you know what I'm saying though? When I was smoking back then, guys at lounges, those guys are smoking like Lot 23s, Patel's cheap stuff, what is that? Rocky Patel, Edge, that kind of stuff. And nobody would make fun of each other. It was just like, guys are just being smart with their money, enjoy themselves, It was almost like, it didn't matter the person, it was more of like timing, meaning, picture like smoking cigars was like a cigar. Most of the time smoking cigars, you're just filling time, killing time. So filler cigars were like low mid-tier cigars. Very rarely you're having wrapper grade quality cigar, meaning like a high-end cigar. Ratio-wise, we're talking about. So most of the time guys are smoking cheap cigars, hanging out, bullshitting. If you can smoke 2 cigars for the same price as 1, hey, it's more money for tomorrow. But you see what I'm saying though? Guys are just more smoking cigars in the lounges just to get away from their wife and hang out for an hour or 2. Or 3, depending, So, where I think today, I don't know what's changed, where people scoff even at mid-tier stuff, especially stuff produced by General, really gets no respect. Less respect than even Altadas, I think. So I think Monte Cristo definitely gets more respect than Cohiba. So I don't know. I don't understand that, and I'm done trying to figure it out. Like, General has some great blends, great brands. They've been around for a long time, and they're still always innovating, coming out with new stuff at a really reasonable price. So people are mad, they're not trying to gouge you. I'll tell you what. Good amount of spice. There's a good amount of earth on it. It's got a sweet, very savory kind of vibe to it, though. There's elements to this that you're like, I can't place it. And maybe due to such a complex blend, tobacco from all over the world, and the primaries they chose, maybe it's just kind of, I don't know, like, it's not a definitive cigar. Like when you're smoking like a Padron 64, where you're smoking, you're like, I know exactly what I'm getting. or Liga number 9. Like, that's definitive, like armor piercing. You know what it is. It's more elusive than rare Corojo. And if you want something like that, what's wrong with that? It has like an element of sweet mystery. That's what I was gonna say. I don't know why sweet is, because I always experienced sweetness there, but it's slightly nutty. Has a little bit of a creamy texture, kind of leathery as well. It's complex, but it's also like I'm not sure exactly what I'm tasting. And that, but it's not in a bad way though. Like really, it's not. I think it's as opposed to, let's say, someone using a slug. This is birdshot. It's all over the place. And the further you get, the further the spread. So, and that's okay. It's okay. It's definitely not a weak cigar. I'm at a heavy medium plus right there. It's probably got to pick up a little bit. Flavor's kind of long on the tongue. I wouldn't list it as an ass-kicking cigar by any means. Years ago when I was smoking, this was stronger, more fuller for its time. It will pick up. Because things were different 10, 15 years ago. Really, the market has changed. I mean, it's changed. Cigars have gotten crazier. Society's gotten crazier. Rap music, rock music. Diddy's got 1,000 bottles of baby oil. You know what I'm saying, though? People are wearing masks, not to rob a bank. I don't say the same people are still wearing masks, but they're eating ass. I don't know. You're worried about your lungs, but you're not worried about your tongue. Staphylococcus. Enjoyable, I'll come back. It's a cigar that has stood the test of time. It's been around forever. And I always come back to it like a little chuckle, like, oh, hey. You know, but not like making fun of the cigar, but just like, yeah, I remember I used to smoke this a lot. And there's so many blends since then. In reviewing, I am always doing different stuff for the most part. But coming back to it, you're like, yeah, I remember why I used to smoke this a lot before I reviewed, just hanging out. It's affordable. It's a great cigar. I didn't smoke a lot in this size, though. This size is definitely unique for it. You're going to find it more probably like a Corona or a Robusto. I think there was bigger ones, too. Was there like a gigantic one? 660 or 770? Well, maybe there was. I can't recall. Nutty, more dry roasted nuts. Black pepper, slightly earthy there. There's a nice sweetness to it, but there's a vagueness overall that's something that don't picture. This is not a cigar that's zoomed in and zoomed out. Just enjoyable, you know. Because of that elusiveness about the cigar, and me not be able to tell you exactly like what you're gonna feel. Take that as a blessing. You know, when you want something, it's like a mystery movie, you know. Maybe in the mood for that. I can't tell exactly what you're gonna feel out of this. It's not a weak cigar. About 70% darkness, yeah, about that. Not super dark, but it's darker than a Connecticut. Feels more like a sun-grown. That's not super dark, but holding the smoke is just, it's very complex, and I can't really explain it. I'm not going to try to explain it. I think we're done here. I don't think I even want to come back. I want to end it on that. You know, I've had this cigar many times in my life, and I reviewed it before. And I'm just coming back to remind people that the rare Corojo really can be enjoyed. Don't be a cigar snob. Maybe find a size you like, but there's no bad size. I mean, I wouldn't go with the 770 unless you want to. But quality cigar. If you're at a shop in Pennsylvania, get this for $7.25. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, right? In this day and age, in New York, they charge $18 for this. you know, getting gouged. But I like the blend, and it's been around a long time, and that deserves some respect. It's not gonna be the best cigar you've ever had. It's a solid cigar, though. It's a cigar worth aging too. I think aging this maybe brings out more qualities. Because the one I had that was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. That was my favorite one. It has a lot going for it. It's ageable, the cigar. You can let it sit for a couple of years. It's not going to age out. It's fine now. You know, enjoy it. And it's affordable price. And it's been around. And damn, I say it's got a pretty unique build to it. And kind of a unique quality. It just didn't have a punch band on it. And it was a regular Robusto. And you told somebody, oh, try this out. Let me know. It's from a boutique brand. And they told them it was $15. They'd believe it. Like it did, you know, saying though, they'd believe it. They believe it. I mean, once you have quality tobacco and quality construction, after that it's just marketing. You know what I'm saying? They want to make people feel, look what I bought. You know, there's a lot of great stuff out there, but I'm just saying, though, look, at the end of the day, you don't got to spend $50, $40 to have a great cigar. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. But hey, if you enjoy the lie, it makes your chocha feel special. It is what it is. Thanks for coming down. Now get the fuck off.